Hi, welcome to Beyond Functional. My name is Anna Gieselman, and I'm a brain-based mobility specialist. What that means is that I help people heal their bodies and their brains by understanding a little bit about the neurology underneath what they're experiencing. I started my career in the healing arts as a massage therapist, and I studied a bunch of different modalities, from anatomy trains to lymphatic drainage. And while I enjoyed the work, I eventually became burnt out because people would feel great when they got off my table, but then a month later when they came back, they'd have the exact same problems. During that time, I also studied to be a yoga teacher, and I taught yoga, meditation, and somatic movements for over 12 years in group settings and private one-on-one sessions. And while I genuinely loved the work, I also found it frustrating that I didn't see any lasting change with clients. Despite students coming week after week, their balance didn't really get that much better. Their flexibility and strength didn't have any huge changes, and they often came in with the same chronic joint pains. I also started to develop my own joint pains, and that guided me towards a body of work called functional range conditioning, which is a joint-specific modality. Basically, we're seeing, do your joints function the way they're supposed to? And if not, how do we fix that? This work was transformative for my own body, and I realized that despite years and years of stretching and doing yoga, my joints weren't all that great. Then, when I was about 36, I started getting really sick with an autoimmune disease called lupus, and it really took me down a dark path. I was in chronic pain, chronic inflammation, really wasting away. I didn't even recognize myself. During that time, a dear friend of mine, Elizabeth Kristoff, who is the founder of Brain-Based Wellness, she said, hey, you're experiencing autoimmune, chronic inflammation, chronic pain, and those are all outputs of your nervous system. So you should try working with your nervous system. And honestly, I thought I was meditating every day. I was doing different movement therapies. And it wasn't until I went to my first weekend workshop in applied neurology that I realized just how much was missing from my practice. And that started the journey of learning applied neurology. At first, I started studying this really for my own benefit. It was the only thing that gave me instant relief from my pain besides pain medicine. And that was back in 2019. Since then, I'm no longer suffering from autoimmune thanks to modern medicine and applied neurology. And now I get to share these tools with people all over the world. So you might still be wondering, yeah, but what is applied neurology? So let me explain. When someone comes to see me, we run a bunch of different neuro assessments. So we see, is your cerebellum functioning well? Are there any deficits in your vision or your vestibular system? Are there any issues going on with your brain's map of your body, the proprioceptive maps? Are your cranial nerves functioning well? And after we compile all this information, my clients leave with anywhere between 8 to 15 techniques that give their brain specific sensory inputs that help to reduce its prediction of threat, which results in instantly less pain, better movement, better strength, better balance, all the things that we want more of. Most of the people who come to see me have exhausted all of the standard resources. They've gone to the doctor, they've had the scans done, they've done their PT, and they're still suffering. And at that point, they're open to something that seems a little bit weird. And while this might seem woo-woo, and I'm certainly not anti-woo-woo, it's not. It's based in neuroscience. The reason why I love applied neurology more than any other modality that I've studied in the past 25 years is because the results are instant and they're systemic. Your brain's main job is to keep you alive, and it's constantly trying to assess if you are safe. And if for whatever reason it is predicting that you are not going to be safe, it will protect you with protective outputs. And if you can identify what inputs help to reduce its prediction of threat, help to create safety in your nervous system, you have less protective outputs immediately. And that's what I help people do. Figure out, what does your brain need more of? What can we get rid of? And then it's up to you to use the tools to retrain your nervous system. If you're considering working with me, it's important to know that what I share and teach are just techniques. They're only valuable if they're put into practice with consistency. Your brain is not all that different from your biceps. If you want to be stronger, you got to lift some weights. If you want your brain to change and have a new pattern built into your nervous system, you got to put in the reps. If what I'm saying in this video is resonating with you and you want to explore applied neurology, I'd love to hear from you. You can click the link below and submit an appointment request. And if all of this is still sounding just a little weird and you're not ready, come find me on Instagram or TikTok. I teach tons of free techniques. You can try them out, see if something works for you. And if ever you decide you want to work one-on-one, I'll be here for you. Also, if you want to hear more about what I'm working on or things that I'm offering, sign up to be on my email list. I also have a bunch of different content in my shop. So if you want to learn a brain-based approach to better balance or more parasympathetic activation, you should check those out. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. I hope you have a fantastic day, and thanks for being here.